I love this. This is my favourite bit, this.
Have I got time to go and put my jacket on?
No, there's only a couple of seconds before the titles.
God, I bet that hurts.
Nah.
Go on, then. Well?
Oh, yeah, it did hurt. Oh.
Our producers on the other side of the big pond this week have offered us 2 games. We couldn't decide between them, so we're going to show you them both. Our main game comes from the Kingdome in Seattle, where the 2 top teams in AFC West play a crucially important game as we enter the last 5 weeks of the regular season.
We also take a long look at the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Oilers game, the 2 top teams of the AFC Central. Then we visit the site of Super Bowl 22 and get an early feel for Super Sunday and how the city of San Diego is preparing for it.
And of course, we've got the results, the major plays and the news from Week 10.
And we meet the second most famous haircut in the NFL, after Andy's, of course.
We begin down in Houston, the Texan oil city that's the home of the Oilers and their amazing indoor stadium, the Astrodome. The Astrodome, when it was built, was considered the 8th wonder of the world, and its owner claimed that his rent was the 9th. Both Houston and Cleveland go into this game 6-3. Cleveland have followed on from last season, where they were 1 kick, not to mention Elway's memorable 98-yard drive, away from getting to the Super Bowl. The Houston Oilers have finished bottom of the AFC Central in each of quarterback Warren Moon's 3 seasons in charge. He had enjoyed considerable success in the Canadian Football League, but realises that the rules are somewhat different in the NFL.
In order for a black guy to become a quarterback in the National Football League, he has to, 1, come out of an offense that features him and let the scouts in the National Football League see that he can throw the football. And 2, there has to be a team in the National Football League willing to take the chance to groom a black quarterback in order to get him ready to play on this level.
But now Moon must face the Browns' notorious Dawg's defence, who have built their reputation on intimidating tactics like barking at wide receivers. Cornerback Hanford Dixon explains the idea behind it.
I tell you, man, originally when we thought of the Dogs, we were thinking about the defensive linemen because we haven't been known for a great pass rush, and we were trying to do something to motivate them. But I tell you, the thing picked up with the whole defense, and we love it. And I don't have to tell you, you could just look in the dog pound and see all the paraphernalia, and you can see the dogs barking on the field.
But there weren't many Dogs fans at the Houston Astrodome last Sunday, where the Oilers hoped to keep the Browns on a short leash. As we join commentators Reggie Rucker and Jim Donovan, it's Cleveland's first possession of the day at their own 47.
It's a first down as they push it through there, and Kozar gets a great block from the outside, and he's going down the sidelines, and Ozzie Newsome makes the catch, and the streak goes on. Steve Brown knocks him down, and Newsome is inside the Houston 30-yard line. It's 122 games in a row now with a pass caught. But this is a painful one.
Ozzie Newsome is about as tough a tight end as you're ever going to see in the National Football League. He has caught many passes this way and taken big hits. Watch it again now. He's looking back, making the concentration on the football. You look at his head. He doesn't care about the defensive back until after he has caught the football, maintains possession. Good hit there by Steve Brown.
First down. There's a 25-yard pass play from Kozar to Newsome inside the Houston 30-yard line. This is Mack. Not much there, but hold the phone. Here he comes as he bounces off the hit and gets inside the 25-yard line. And finally, Robert Lyles brings him down. And that's what makes Mack so tough, that second effort.
Watch it now. This power back, he comes in there, bounces off a couple of tackles. Ray Childress, good vision, picking up that extra yardage.
81, Derek Tennell, a replacement player, is in a tight end for the Browns, replacing Ozzie Newsome. And again, they'll stay with the hot hand, and it's Mack, and he pushes inside the 20-yard line and gets up close to a first down near the 16. The Browns did get a first down. Brennan and Slaughter lined up as the wideouts now. Kozar quickly to Tennell across the middle, to the 5, to the 1. Did he get in? No signal yet. They're going to mark him short. Derek Tennell, the tight end. It was Bostic and Domingo Bryant who makes him back.
Watch number 81, Tennell. That looks like a pick there by Cody Rising. I'm not sure why Cody Rising was able to make contact with that defensive back. That's a little strange.
Browns try and push it in. Biner's in. Touchdown, Cleveland. With a great block from 42, Tim Manoa, the rookie out of Penn State. And the Browns take it in on their first possession, and they're up 6-0.
Let's watch the good block on the right side of the screen. Number 42, watch the lead block. This is the important block. Manoa must take on that blocker. He does it in fine fashion, neutralizing the play at the line of scrimmage of number 54, Al Smith. And of course, there is Biner, the tough one, getting up inside for the touchdown.
Gary Danielson will hold for Jeff Jager as we look right down the barrel on the extra point. Oh, low snap, and it gets away. Jager's got to ad-lib with this one. He's going to throw it. Scenes of Garo Ukrainian right out of the Super Bowl. And there's a big moment in the ball game this early. And now the crowd's back in the game. You would think they would be out of the game after a touchdown. We'll see if that comes back to haunt the Browns. They score and lead 6-0.
A quick strike by the Browns, and Houston's first reply self-destructed when Warren Moon was introduced to the Dogs' defence. Sacked by Carl Big Daddy Hairston and fumbling for Al Bubba Baker to recover. The result was an easy 21-yard field goal for Jeff Jager, which increased the Browns' lead to 9-0. Before the end of the quarter, Warren Moon suffered another setback when this bomb intended for receiver Drew Hill was gratefully accepted by Pro Bowl cornerback Frank Minifield. Again, the Oilers' defence held, so Jeff Jager is on for a 32-yard field goal at the start of what turned out to be a long second quarter for the Browns kicker.
He is 12 for 16 on the season. Again, problems with the snap, but Danielson got it down and the kick rides through. They settle for 3 more. And the Browns now lead 12-0. 37-yard field goal attempt for Jeff Jager. 2 for 2 this afternoon. And another blown snap. Danielson has to smother it, and the Oilers fall on top of him. Steve Brown was in there to get right over Gary Danielson. They had really had the perils of Pauline when they've been snapping on kicks here today. It's a 30-yard field goal attempt for Jeff Jager. Again, they fumble the snap. Jager is rolling around to throw, looping it into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Wow, they have come apart from the seams.
And I don't know what it is, but Gary is having some problems with the ball.
And it is so interesting because before the game, as Reggie said, along with special teams coach Kurt Schottenheimer, they went through a drill where he was picking up trap hops and balls on the floor.
And you have to remember that Jeff Gossett, who was waived, used to be the holder for this football team, so Danielson is new.
5:29 left to go. Here in the half, Rozier puts it on the ground. The Browns have recovered. On the first down play, they have recovered. It's Clay Matthews. How about that? And the crowd that was waving pom-poms at the beginning when the game started, they're now giving it to the Oilers because they are just turning it over.
And that was to prove a most costly giveaway as the Browns took no chances with their kicking game. And 5 plays later, Kevin Mack ran in for a 5-yard touchdown. Jeff Jager did manage to convert the extra point to make it 19-0 Browns. Now the Oilers have the ball, but with just 2 minutes left in the half, they're backed up on their own 9-yard line, 1st and 20 after a penalty.
In his own end zone, Moon steps up, throws, and it is caught. Ernest Gibbons makes the catch up near the 30-yard line and gets pushed back by Ray Ellis. Gibbons is ticked off as he felt there was a lot of extra stuff going on. And there is that Gibbons-Minifield battle breaking out right there.
First of all, it's outstanding pass protection for Moon. That's why he's able to get the ball off. Now, the play, I think, may have been called the whistle. Now, if Ellis slams him down, that's one thing, but Ellis doesn't slam him down. The ball is clearly thrown at Ellis. Now, that should have been a penalty, I think, on Ernest Gibbons.
From the replay official, double foul after the play. First down at the 30.
There it is.
Football again, and long and deep to Duncan, and he's got it at the 25 of Cleveland. He's going down near the 22.
It's that simple. If you want to get back into the ball game, play better. You have to execute to beat the Cleveland Browns. They're a good defensive football team. They aren't going to give you anything.
42 yards on the play as Moon throws the ball right down into the ground on that first down play as they stop the clock with 1:19 left to go in the half. On that play, Duncan did not get out of bounds on that long pass. He beat Frank Minifield, who of course was one of the participants in that play preceding. There you see Clay 57 popping in on the line of scrimmage. Moon getting away from the rush. Gets away, but not from behind. Mike Johnson, 59, got him from the ankle. 3rd and 19. Out of the shotgun. Moon going down the far sideline into the end zone, incomplete. He was throwing for Willie Drury. And that was a rookie, 36, Stephen Braggs. Right here from the Houston area. He went to Smiley High School, played his college football at Texas. He was stride for stride in the end zone on coverage. 48-yard field goal attempt. The punter, Lee Johnson, holds. Kick is up. Very good. The streak is over, and they will not get on the board here with 1:01 left to go in the half. Zendejas' streak ends at 9 in a row, and the Oilers shoot a blank right there as they cannot get on the scoreboard, and the Browns maintain a 19-0 lead, and they'll get the ball back with 1:01 left to go here in the first half. Well, that kind of typifies the way the afternoon has gone so far. Frustrating, a shake of the head, because they were playing so well coming into this game. They'd won 3 out of their last 4. They have time to get back into it, and the Browns trying to add to their lead, and they have 61 seconds to try and get some more points. Handoff. Biner shakes loose and goes out near the 40-yard line. The two linebackers, Johnny Meads and Al Smith, both on the right side, make the tackle as the clock runs down. Remember, Kozar has used 2 of his timeouts so far with 43 seconds to go in the half.
And he won't sit on the 19-point lead. He is always an attacking quarterback. He will continue to try to put points on the board.
4 wideouts, and he's barking them out the signals to the far side there. They run it again, and Biner goes out over the 45 to the 46-yard line, where Richard Byrd trails him down and brings him down from behind. 23 seconds to go here in the first half. 19-0 Browns lead. And on a draw play, it goes to Biner. 50, 45, looking for the sideline, and gets out of bounds with 18 seconds to go in the half. What a nice run.
And they did it just then. They called 2 plays in the huddle, and you could see Brian Brennan giving the signal to Webster Slaughter with the hands.
And Slaughter also gave Biner a clearing block along that near sideline, along with Brennan. Biner getting out of bounds, stopped the clock. It's inside Houston territory now as they try and move up closer to field goal position at the 44. Three-man rush by the Oilers. Running around, sidearms it, and the catch made by Gerald McNeil. Down the sideline, tightrope walking that white line, and he goes inside the 20-yard line. But they're going to mark him out of bounds at the 26.
Fascinating little player, isn't he? Now, this man does not have a lot of mobility. Say he's awkward, doesn't look pretty. He just gets the job done and wins. Look at him throw that ball across his body sideline. Look at the great speed on the outside there with Gerald McNeil getting outside.
16 yards on the pass play. 9 seconds to go here in the first half. Kozar still in the offensive huddle as he brings them up. Langhorne goes out to the top of your screen. Brennan and Slaughter down here at the bottom. And one back in the backfield. That's 44 Biner. as they rush Kozar. He loops it down the sideline, and Slaughter's got it for a touchdown. With 4 seconds to go in the half, they got one-on-one coverage, and Slaughter got it as Kozar laid it out there for him.
Kozar only knows how to play one way, and that's to attack. And you have to attack him if you have any hope of stopping this man in his passing game.
So, missing the field goal proves even more costly for the Oilers as Bernie Kozar's 26-yard touchdown pass to Webster Slaughter makes it effectively a 10-point turnaround. 26 points up at the half, the result was in the bag, but that didn't affect the quality of the second half play.
3rd down and 11, back at the Houston 45-yard line. And again, Bernie yelling out to Brennan, who then relays the call to 84 Slaughter. And then the pass, and it is caught. Slaughter's loose at the 20, down to the 17-yard line. Boy, do those two have it in sync. 29 yards on the pass play. Langhorne in motion. Manoa in the backfield now. But it will be Biner. He's 10. He's 5. He's in. Touchdown. Great block by the rookie Manoa.
I think a lot of people are going to head for the exits after that run.
Not those guys, though. Those are Browns fans who made the trip down. Well, here comes Warren Moon, down 33-0. And throwing. And Gibbons makes the catch and then shakes a tackle. 35, 40, 45, 50. He got by Branch. And he may go. Touchdown.
No flags.
Whole lot of directional running.
Here they come. I would expect the blitz to be on.
Kozar throwing. Oh, wide open. McNeil. Touchdown. Gerald McNeil.
So, a great day for the Browns on offense and plenty to celebrate about. And Frank Minifield, with 3 interceptions in the game, really stood out, leaving only Cleveland's kicking game and the entire Houston team looking bad. So it looks like Cleveland will be strong enough to make the playoffs again this year, and Houston will have to chase a wild card place.
We've had some requests to explain the playoff system again, so new viewers take note, and other viewers who want to keep this a secret, now's the time to write in and complain.
The first thing to be decided after the regular season is the conference champions. This is decided by the 3 divisional title holders being joined by the wildcard game winners, who then play a semi-final and a final. The teams who play in the wildcard games are those with the best wins to losses ratio who didn't win their divisional title. Once the conference champions have been decided, they go forward to play each other in the Super Bowl.
The complaining viewers can put their crayons down now, because you too will want to know about our coverage of the playoffs.
For the conference championships, we'll have Sunday afternoon's game late on Sunday night. On Tuesday, we'll show you the late night Sunday game with a roundup of both games on Wednesday. And we'll be in San Diego to bring you Super Bowl 22 live here on Channel 4 from the Jack Murphy Stadium. Kick-off time scheduled for 12 minutes past 11 over here, and we'll be on the air for half an hour before that with a pre-game show.
And we're looking forward to that every bit as much as you are. John Smith now reports from Super Bowl crazy San Diego.
San Diego, the host city for Super Bowl 22, is the second largest city in California after Los Angeles. And a beautiful city it is too. It has a magnificent harbor. It's a resort and retirement community and a major military and naval base. San Diego now has another famous landmark, the San Diego Yacht Club, new home of the America's Cup and the host club for the next challenge in 1991. San Diego may have a Spanish name and tradition, but it has a lot of British connections. On the Chargers, it's head coach Al Saunders and place kicker Vince Abbott. Here in San Diego Harbor, it's the #1 tourist attraction, the Star of India. Built in 1863 in the Isle of Man, it now claims to be the oldest merchant ship afloat. So even tied up in port in San Diego, Britain still rules the waves. San Diego is a border city. Directly to its south is Mexico. The Mexican and Spanish influence is everywhere, in the food, the architecture, and no more so than here in Old Town San Diego. Roger, you're in charge of licensing for the Super Bowl for NFL properties. When did you start putting these products on the market?
We started putting them in San Diego about late August, early September, primarily in the high visibility spots, airport, hotel, gift shops.
How many types of items do you have licensed?
Probably about 120 different items.
So from clothing to mugs to lampshades to...
Keychains, bumper strips, everything you can imagine.
Can you get this stuff in Britain?
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's tough to keep your mind on football here in San Diego. The ideal climate, the laid-back Southern Californian way of life, and the other distractions all make for a lifestyle that's the envy of the football players in Green Bay, Cleveland, and Buffalo.
Of course, the San Diego Chargers might well be playing in the Super Bowl in their own home ground in front of their own fans. As we go into this game, the Chargers are now 8-1. They've won 8 games on the trot.
But playing away to second-place Seattle, that record could be in danger. The Kingdome in Seattle is one of the most intimidating arenas in modern sport. The noise level in the enclosed stadium rises to deafening levels when the Seahawks fans start up. Seattle's number 12 shirt is retired in acknowledgement of the crowd's contribution as the 12th man. The visiting San Diego Chargers had to start the game without their veteran quarterback, Kingpin Dan Fouts, who strained a knee in training. The commentators in Seattle are Jimmy Cefalo and Charlie Jones.
San Diego won the toss and will be receiving as Norm Johnson kicks off. And Gary Anderson will field it at the 7-yard line. Anderson to the 20, he fumbles the ball, Seattle has it. A flag is down, a flag is down, Anderson fumbles, Seattle has the ball, but there's a flag at the 31-yard line. This will not be replayed. There has been a change in the purview of the replay officials, and that is that on a fumble, when there is contact, it will not be checked by the replay officials. They will go with a call on the field.
Number 58, illegal block in the back. They decline the penalty. First down.
Seattle has the ball.
Paul Boyer, number 21, who you saw walking off the field, is the captain of the team. There he is, middle of your screen with the hit. Well, actually, he mops up on it a little bit later on, but he's the one who comes up with the fumble. A big play for Moyer, and Anderson coughs up the ball on the opening kickoff.
So Seattle on offense at the 25-yard line of San Diego. And Kurt Warner gets the call as expected, 6 yards to the 19, second down and 4. We'll look at that offense of the Seattle Seahawks with Dave Craig at quarterback. A smiling Kurt Warner will be the halfback. Craig, by the way, shaved off the beard overnight. He had the beard yesterday. He doesn't have it today. John L. Williams, the fullback. He is the key blocker. Largest, the great receiver. Speed man, Darrell Turner. The tight end is Mike Tice, Mattis, Bailey, Bush, Millard, and Wilson, that offensive line. And the Seahawks with the break right at the top of the ball game. Warner to the 16-yard line. Needed 4. He got 3. It is third down and 1 as Thomas Benson makes the tackle. And There's some jawing going on early in the ballgame. That is Elvis Patterson talking with one of the officials. Here's Largent downfield.
And uncharacteristically, a little bit of a pushing match with number 34, Elvis Patterson. That's a good block, and he's more than, a right shot on the part of Patterson. That's got to be a flag. That kind of stuff doesn't belong in football. The problem with the defensive back is that anytime a wide receiver throws at his knees, he thinks it's illegal. That kind of stuff by Patterson should have been a flag.
Officials missed that call. Here's Warner needing a yard, and he's not going to get it. Thomas Benson, inside linebacker for San Diego. And here's a look at that defense very quickly. And it's a heated-up ballgame. Williams, Charles, and Miller. The linebackers with the bookends outside. That's Billy Ray Smith and Chip Banks with Jackson and Benson inside. Your standard secondary of Patterson, Bird, Bayless, and Glenn. Norm Johnson is in. He has hit 8 of 10 field goals. His long this year, 49. And he'll be kicking from the 24, so an attempt of 34 yards for the first points of the ball game. Norm Johnson, a 34-yard field goal.
So, Seattle opened up a 3-0 lead, which the Chargers tried to counter with backup quarterback Mark Herman at the helm. At first, Herman found success with the short passing game. Their running back, Gary Anderson, turns the swing pass into a 12-yard gain and a first down. But the Chargers' running game is still a little limited, and on third down and short, Curtis Adams was stopped for no gain by an airborne Brian Bosworth, who is quickly establishing himself a reputation as one of the fastest linebackers around the league. When the Seahawks took over possession, Dave Craig had a little ritual to perform, the obligatory pass to wide receiver Steve Largent. That continued one of the longest streaks in professional sport. Largent has caught at least one pass in 147 consecutive games. With the help of another pass to Largent, this time for 29 yards, Craig marched the Seahawks down to San Diego's 12-yard line, which is where they start the second quarter, 1st and 10.
Craig drops it off underneath the coverage to Williams. He keeps going down the sideline, touchdown. John L. Williams has just scored here in the Kingdom.
John L. Williams not only making the catch at the flat, he's an all-around player, even though he's a tremendous blocker, and that's why he's a first-round draft choice in Seattle, but also showing his ability to make a catch and to break some tackles.
Norm Johnson adds the point after. 14:53, that is the time remaining in the first half, and the Seahawks are up by 10.
There's Williams right in the flat. Nobody covers him. It's a zone, actually, but he runs over number 34. That's Patterson. Billy Ray Smith gets run over, and it's touchdown, Seattle, and John L. Williams.
A 10-point lead now for Mark Herman to chase in the second quarter, and the Seahawks are making it tough. San Diego has a third down and short on their own 29.
Anderson catches it at the last moment at 43-yard line, 14 yards on the play. Kenny Easley with the tackle. Anderson had not looked around. Herman had to throw it before he could find out where the ball was. Anderson picks it up. Good play.
Yeah, on the right side, it's a little flare pattern on the part of Gary Anderson, but you're right, he threw this football very well. It had to go right in between easily number 45 and Anderson's hands. It could not have gone anyplace else for that ball to be completed. A great throw by Mark Herman.
Herman now 5 of 6, 51 yards. James in motion. Looping pattern, and it is incomplete. No flag. Wes Chandler, the intended receiver, and Patrick Hunter had the coverage. Here, San Diego is 8-1, but they are trailing 10-0. They really haven't gotten much going on offense. Tim Spencer, a yard to the 45. It's going to be third down and 9. Tony Woods making the tackle. Jeff Bryant also there. San Diego did not make any special preparations in regard to the sound here at the Kingdom. A lot of teams have loudspeakers or they wear earplugs. Al Saunders said, we've had our young men play in big games in college with lots of fans, lots of noise. We'll just go up there and play. To James, he's a great catch. Herman laid in the perfect pass, and Lionel James made a reception that you're not supposed to make. And a Seattle Seahawk player has been injured back at the 35-yard line.
What? Two things. The tremendous throw and a tremendous catch. Mark Herman has made 2 throws already that you just will not find. This is on the other side of the field. You'll see James with a good move. He turns the defensive back all the way around. But watch the catch. The defensive back is all over the back of him. Great concentration and a one-handed grab on the part of little Train James. What a catch.
Terry Justin, a left knee or a left ankle as he is being assisted off of the field. A first down for San Diego at the 21-yard line of Seattle as Curtis Adams gets the call. It's Seattle 10 and San Diego nothing as Gary Anderson gets the call. He'll go to about the 15-yard line. Winslow in motion. Herman throws to Kellen, knocked away. Good defensive play as Kenny Easley receiving the accolades of the sellout crowd here.
And rightly so, a nice play on the part of Easley. The Chargers flooded the zone on the right side of the field. They had 3 receivers over there, Chandler, Little Train James, and Winslow, and only a nice play on the part of Easley, who dives at the last second, prevents the reception.
33-yard field goal attempt by Vince Abbott. He was hit 10 of 14, as you see, 47 long. Has been a great pressure kicker for the Chargers. And he has it from 33 yards away. So here it is Seattle 10, San Diego 3.
So the Chargers on the board at least, but now the Seahawks are on the move again. They've reached their own 38-yard line.
First down Seattle. Seattle leading by 7, 10 to 3. Play action fake. Craig goes deep far side to Darrell Turner. Elvis Patterson brings him down. 17 yards on the reception.
And of course, he catches a touchdown about every 3 times he touches the football, so they got to get the football to Darrell Turner.
You don't want to lose too much confidence in a man that can do that. Here's Largent coming in motion. It's going to be a give to Largent. Largent on a reverse. To the 40, down the sideline and bumped out. At the 34-yard line. First down. 13 yards. Gilbert finally bumped him out.
And Largent didn't have a whole lot of help coming back on the reverse. He's got a lineman out in front of him, Ron Mattis, number 70. But coming back the other way, the first person to know this is a reverse is number 44, Bayless. He knows he's coming back the other side. And as you see, he gets around Billy Ray Smith, but Gilbert, number 22, comes up, beats the block by Darrell Turner, and knocks him out of bounds.
Dave Craig, who has been in a slump at quarterback for Seattle, has completed 5 of 7 for 83 yards. The rushing yardage more than 3 to 1, as you can see. Here comes a blitz. The give is to Warner as the offensive line picks up the blitz. And Warner goes to the 27-yard line. Gain of 7. Second down and 3. Billy Ray Smith with a tackle. Time remaining first half. Seahawks up by 7 points. Craig to throw. Incomplete. Almost intercepted. Bird went up for it. Could not pull it down. Largent, the intended receiver.
Now, this is the challenge. Does Seattle run the football against those little defensive backs, or they try to throw for it and get the 4 yards?
They're in a throwing formation, which is the shotgun. Warner's all alone, right flat. Warner down the sideline, flag on the play. Warner out of bounds around the 9-yard line, but there was a marker on the play. He has 18 yards on the play. He was all alone. Bayless finally got to him. The officials say he stepped out. No, he stepped out at the 17-yard line.
And the call will be holding against San Diego, so the play will stand. Somebody made a mistake, obviously. Bayless, number 44, gets caught up back there in the backfield of San Diego. He's the one who's supposed to cover Warner, but he ran into his own man. And as you see, Kurt, it seemed like he stepped out of bounds just a second.
They declined the penalty, and it's first down.
Wes Miller went to the fake. And of course, you know, when you make that When you make that initial hit, your hands have got to stay shoulders and below. That was a call. Course refused. Gain of 10. They'll mark it at the 17-yard line where he did step out of bounds. First down. Seattle dominating the first half. Here is Warner on a sweep. Williams the lead block. And Kirk goes to the 10-yard line. Gain of 7. Second down and 3. Billy Ray Smith and Thomas Benson with the tackle. Seattle's record is 6-3. And they have been talking all week in Seattle that if we lose, we're 3 down in the tiebreaker and we're out of it. So they go at this just like a playoff game where San Diego, because of winning 8 in a row, have the luxury of looking at the rest of the season. San Diego, on the other hand, would love to win at Seattle, where they've had difficulty winning in the Kingdome and kicking the Seahawks out of the race. Greg rolling, has pressure. He's throwing that away. It'll be third down and 3. It's 10-3, Seattle leading and threatening at the 10-yard line. Craig with pressure, had to get rid of it too soon. Pressure coming from Billy Ray Smith. Smith makes the play. Craig, he just had to get rid of the ball. Trying to lead Turner. There's a flag at the 11-yard line. Winner call against San Diego.
Defense number 44 holding. That's 5 yards. That's a first down.
Martin Baylor's call for holding. For the ball at the 5. First down and goal to go. Lane in motion. Warner sliding along the line, finds the opening and scores a touchdown. 5 yards. Three-yard drive by Seattle. And it took them 10 plays. Johnson to attempt the point after. Kemp to Hole. Right down the middle. Seattle leads it 17-3. It wasn't there. Warner got it anyway.
Seattle could have extended their lead before half-time, but Norm Johnson missed this 48-yard field goal attempt, so the Chargers go in, trailing the Seahawks by 2 touchdowns. It's the third quarter, and it looks as though San Diego are warming up Dan Fouts to try and pull back from a 14-point deficit. But first, Seattle have the ball. First and 10 at their own 22.
Shaving the beard off between practice last night and the game today. We still haven't been able to find out why. And he opens up throwing, and it is pulled down by Steve Largent. 17 yards. That is Largent's third reception of the ball game. Gil Byrd with the tackle.
Steve Largent, without question, the greatest possession receiver ever to play in the National Football League. Here's why. He turns the defensive back around. That's Gil Byrd. Comes back, makes the catch. Now watch, he hangs on. Here's the hit coming from the linebacker from the inside. This hurts. But he hangs on to the football. He's the guy you want to go to when it's third down and short or first down and 10.
He has 3 for 60. That means he's 43 yards away from second place in yardage on the all-time receiving list, taking over Don Maynard's spot behind the great Charlie Joyner. John L. Williams with the call. From the 39 to the 45, gain of 6, second down and 4. Mike Charles, a nose tackle for the Chargers, makes the tackle.
Well, in the first half, Seattle ran the ball they ran the ball 12 out of 20 first downs they've had it. So they've got to shut down this first down running of Seattle.
It's for Warner, first down. 47-yard line of San Diego. Gain of 8. Chip Banks makes the tackle. The mark at the 48-yard line. Mike Charles coming out of the lineup for San Diego. First down. Almost 5-1. Back up the middle. To the 40. Laterals in. Back to Kurt Warner. Warner to the 25. To the 20. What a heads-up play.
San Diego sends the linebacker on the play. Watch Chip Banks from the right side. Once he's avoided him, the whole middle of the field opens up for Craig. Now here's the heads-up play. Hey, it's not too late to pitch it back. And Warner beats Bayless, number 44, and nearly sneaks into the end zone.
He goes out just outside the 10-yard line. We'll call it the 11, and it's first down and 10 to go. First and 11 for a score. Quarterback draw. Everybody was covered. Can he make it? Yes!
Last week, Dave Craig was accused of deserting his pocket too early. Does he do it here again? It doesn't collapse, and he does leave it a bit too early. But a smart play because he does sneak into the end zone, diving just ahead of the defensive back. Dave Craig said one of his goals coming in today was to sit back there a little bit longer to allow his receivers to get open.
A 78-yard drive in 5 plays, and the extra point is there. 24-3, Seattle.
So it could be that the Chargers have held Dan Fouts back too long. He's in the game now, though, with the unlucky Mark Herman unable to break into the Seahawks end zone. First and 10 at San Diego's 20.
The James double coverage incomplete. Patrick Hunter broke it up. Second down and 10. Over the middle, pass is complete to James. Short of the first down. Seattle says they recovered. Officials say the ball was dead. Replay will not look at this. Ryan Bosworth and Paul Moyer make the tackle. It'll be third down. 28-yard line. Third down and a couple. Chargers have scored only 19 third-quarter points this season. But they have scored a bundle in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter has been their hot quarter.
Also, Winslow not used at all by Mark Herman. Let's see if Fouts doesn't decide to go to his old favorite target.
He goes to Anderson, and it is incomplete. Third down and 2. He went deep. Patrick Hunter had the coverage.
So the veteran Fouts fares no better than his young backup. Just before the end of the quarter, the Seahawks stretched their lead on Norm Johnson's 22-yard field goal, and with 1 quarter to play, they led by 24. The fourth quarter, and once again Dan Fouts tries to rally the Chargers. First and 10 at their own 18.
27-3, Seattle lead. San Diego from the 18. Fouts is sacked. Fred Young got him, first sack for the Seahawks. And they're 25th on the year.
With Dan Fouts in the game, this changes the strategy for Seattle's defense. As a book on Fouts, usually what they do is try to blitz straight up the gut because he has such a short set that if you try to go around the gut, it's too late when you get to him. You're too deep. And so Freddie Young coming straight up the middle, that's what Seattle's got to do with a Dan Fouts in the football game.
Second down. Now only a 3-man rush. Going deep, it is intercepted. Anderson, the intended receiver. It is picked off by Eugene Robinson out at the 44-yard line.
Fouts Seahawks had a receiver open for just a second, but he floated the football a little bit too much, allowing Robinson to come over and pick it off. Does that back foot bother him? The deep throw is what it would hurt him on, because he's got to push off the back foot. But you see, Anderson was open for a second. The floating football allowed Robinson to come over and pick it off.
So again, Fouts is ineffective, and now the Seahawks are closing in on the Chargers' end zone. 3rd and 1 at the 11.
Warner for the first down.
Watch him go over the top for the first down here. Injury and all. But that won't get healthy at all if Warner's got to play on AstroTurf the rest of the year. When I look at that schedule, every game will be played on the road.
And of that total offense, Kurt Warner 119 yards rushing. Tony Burst is the carrier here. And he goes to the 5-yard line. 2nd down and goal to go. Chip Banks with the tackle. 5-yard line. We're going to Morris. 5-yard line and no more. Billy Ray Smith is there. You know, with that toe injury that we've been talking about, in reality, he won't be practicing anymore. He will only be playing.
That's right. He told us.
Is that an advantage in a way?
No, not at all. Timing has got to be involved. Yes, he'll be a little less sore the rest of his body, but he's got that injury that he's got to worry about the rest of the time. He'll be swollen from today until next Saturday.
Touchdown. Steve Largent.
Steve Largent is the fastest receiver in the NFL out of the break. When he decides to make a break, watch the separation he has between the defensive back and Largent. He's got to slide along against Patterson, but he had 2 good yards beaten. And that's only a 5-yard pattern. You can't get much further open than that. Out of the break, Largent, the fastest, quickest receiver in football. It may sound strange, but he separates from a defensive back quicker than any receiver I've ever seen.
Norm Johnson to attempt the point after. And it is good. Seattle 34, San Diego 3 with 9:14 left.
But there was no way back for the Chargers. Their 8-game winning streak comes to an end, beaten hollow by their arch-divisional rivals.
San Diego Chargers losing terribly then.
Yeah, letting the Seahawks in. And don't forget Denver are there still. Elway's playing out of his skin at the moment. And now the rest of the results from Week 10. AFC first, New York Jets versus the Buffalo Bills. This Jim Kelly pass to Walter Broughton was nearly strong enough to carry the wide receiver right out of the end zone. And this dive from Jamie Mueller scored 6 points for the touchdown and 9.4 for artistic impression. New York Jets 14, Buffalo Bills 17. Los Angeles Raiders versus the Denver Broncos. Wide receiver Vance Johnson had the stats of the day. 5 receptions, 115 yards and a touchdown for the Broncos. But the stylist of the day was the Kansas City Royals baseball star Bo Jackson, who scored his first 2 NFL touchdowns in his winter hobby of playing running back for the Raiders. LA Raiders 17, Denver Broncos 23. New England Patriots versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Patriots put one over on their old coach Ron Meyer, who fired our own John Smith. The key play here was a blocked punt by Willie Scott, run in for the first of 3 touchdowns. New England Patriots 24, Indianapolis Colts 0. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Rod Woodson's first touchdown of his career from a tip ball interception. Then Mark Malone, celebrating his 29th birthday by scrambling 42 yards for a score, made sure of the win for the Steelers, which puts them just one game behind Cleveland. Cincinnati 16, Pittsburgh 30. Now the NFC, Minnesota Vikings versus the Atlanta Falcons. The big play in this game came from the smallest man on the field, 5'8" Viking Leo Lewis, who returned this punt 78 yards for a touchdown. The first score from a punt return by a Minnesota player since 1968. Minnesota Vikings 24, Atlanta Falcons 13. Chicago Bears versus the Detroit Lions. Jim McMahon was in unusual difficulties early on in this game, being sacked 8 times, but the Bears soon came out on top. Neil Anderson, now playing the Walter Payton role for the Bears, did his passable imitation of the master, scoring on a 16-yard run. Chicago Bears 30, Detroit Lions 10. New Orleans Saints versus the New York Giants. Giants stand-in quarterback Jeff Rutledge's arm was the good news and the bad news in this game. He threw for 2 touchdowns, including this one to Mark Bavaro, but then he threw 5 interceptions. New Orleans Saints 23, New York Giants 14. Philadelphia Eagles versus the St. Louis Cardinals. The Cardinals played in front of potential new owners from Baltimore and had no trouble downing the Eagles. 2 touchdown passes from Neil Lomax to J.T. Smith. Surely that can't be our John moonlighting. Helped St. Louis to an easy win. Philadelphia Eagles 19, St. Louis Cardinals 31. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus San Francisco 49ers. Flash 80 is San Francisco's brilliant wide receiver, Jerry Rice. His 3 touchdown passes beat the Buccaneers in the air. 49ers quarterback Joe Montana now leads the NFL in touchdown passes, and Rice has a league-leading 11 touchdown receptions. Tampa Bay 10, San Francisco 49ers 24. Washington Redskins versus the Los Angeles Rams. 2 touchdowns here for former Olympic sprinter Ron Brown. First, he outruns the Washington special team for a 95-yard kickoff return. Then he makes a routine catch for another score. Washington Redskins 26, LA Rams 30. And now the interconference games. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Green Bay Packers. The Chiefs' 9th defeat in a row, the worst run in their history. Quarterback Randy Wright came off the Green Bay bench in the second quarter to throw 2 touchdown passes to Frankie Neal. The Packers were easy winners and have now won 4, lost 5 and drawn 1. Kansas City Chiefs 3, Green Bay Packers 23. Dallas Cowboys versus the Miami Dolphins. Dan Marino threw a touchdown for the 30th consecutive game, the second longest run ever in the NFL. Perhaps a new star was born here. His name is Troy Stradford, a Dolphin running back in his first year. And he's number 23. Dallas Cowboys 14, Miami Dolphins 20. And now the divisional tables. AFC East. A five-way tie here means that it's like starting afresh, but it's only going to be a 5-game season to decide the title. AFC Central. Cleveland take the lead in this 3-horse race by beating Houston. Cincinnati must now be out of it. AFC West. San Diego come to the end of their winning streak as Seattle move up a gear, with Denver still in with a chance. NFC East. St. Louis are the only team to win this week, so there's no change in the division, with Washington looking safe at the top. NFC Central. Chicago and Minnesota both win at the top, the Bears beating bottom place Detroit to end their hopes this season. NFC West. The 49ers and the Saints both win and look good for playoff spots, whilst Atlanta must be wishing for a permanent strike to end their misery. Confusing as it may sound, 2 of next week's games were played on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. In the Battle of the Turkeys, Kansas won at last, beating the Detroit Lions 27-20 in Detroit. In Dallas, the Minnesota Vikings won a great offensive battle 44-38. The Vikings' Chuck Nelson missed a 46-yard field goal with just 34 seconds left, sending the game into overtime, where Darren Nelson sprinted in from 24 yards for the game-winning touchdown. The 2 big games to watch out for this week are the Chargers versus the Broncos and the 49ers versus the Browns. And if those games live up to their fulfillment, we'll be showing you one on Tuesday night and another game on Sunday at 6. We leave you with a look at someone who seems to me to be a normal kind of guy with a pretty straightforward appearance and attitude to life.
I think the guy's a bit of a weirdo myself. The guy we're talking about is the Seattle Seahawks linebacker, Brian Bosworth. Weirdo? Yes, see you Tuesday.
Give me a head with hair, long, beautiful hair, shining, gleaming, streaming, flaxen, waxing. Give me down to there, shoulder length longer. Here, baby, there, mama, everywhere, daddy, daddy, hair. Grow it, show it, long as I can grow it, my hair.
The good thing about hair is it grows out. If you screw it up, it'll grow right back out.
Another magnificent job.
Thanks, sir.